We had an agreement, but now my husband thinks I'm the AH? I didn't know what to pick for my flair first time trying one of these. It's just been a bad day. I fought with my husband his whole lunch break about this. I became a SAHM 2 years ago. I told him from the start I am not going to be SAHM if we aren't comfortable. As in I can get the kids different season outfits when it comes time, buy whatever cleaning supplies I want and buy the kid random things they want without stressing. I also told him I still was going to dye my hair every 2 months, spray tan once a month, the shampoo that does best with my hair, and my $30 mascara. He thinks I'm too stuck up and I don't need any of that. I told him if it ever came to where I was having to give up these things that make me feel like a real person and not just wife/mom, then I was going back to work no matter what. Well, he did okay for the first year and a half. The company he worked for laid off half their employees and husband was one of them. Not his fault at all. He got a different job soon after making $20 less an hour. So for the last 6 months I have been more frugal with everything, grocery shopping, going to Goodwill for kids' clothes. The kids don't really notice a difference and are still happy as can be. I, on the other hand, who has really taken care of myself my whole life and got the things I want to feel like myself, now have put it all on the back burner. Sometimes I have to go weeks between shaving till I can get a new pack of razors. So it's not even the bougie things like my spray tan, mascara, and hair dye I'm doing without. It's the most basic things. Fugging razors. I used baby soap for my shampoo this morning. I told him last night I was getting a job at the old company I used to work for. He flipped out and said, why can't I just do without and ride this out? I'm sorry, but riding it out for how long? He doesn't know. I explained to him me and the kids are stuck in the house 24/7 because we don't even have gas money to go out to the park or library most weeks. And the only thing that made me feel like a real person, taking care of myself, I can't do because we can't afford it. I can no longer run to the grocery store and buy my son a $5 toy without stressing if I'm taking away from our budget. I reminded him of our deal and he still feels I'm just being a stuck-up witch for not just riding this out. He claims it's all good because he grew up poor and it made him cherish things more. Which yeah, maybe, but I don't want my children growing up poor if I'm completely capable myself to change things. Which easily these things may sound high maintenance, but the thing is I've always been this way, I never tried to hide it. He agreed to these conditions when this first started, but now I'm a stuck-up witch for complaining and I'm too high maintenance. Give it to me straight, be mean if you have to. Should I just give up this part of myself and ride this out? Update. I guess my husband never saw me as his equal since becoming a SAHM. Posted the other day about mine and my husband's agreement that he was trying to go back on. He doesn't want me to go back to work. But what he told me this weekend really just opened my eyes, that he never saw me as his equal. I was trying to have a discussion on why it would be best for our family if O went back to work. Even part-time evenings so we don't have to pay for childcare. He still is livid I'm bringing it up. He told me after all he's done for us the past 2 years he can't believe I'm just giving up this easily and that I want to go to work. He said he wants me to be there when he's off work and on his weekend. He doesn't want to deal with the kids on his own time. So I should just ride it out indefinitely. I told him this definitely wasn't going to work for me. I told him after these past 6 months of being frugal and scraping by I'm done. I told him this was the agreement we had. I also told him thank you for letting me know he thought so little of my role as SAHM. I said I was under the impression that I did a lot for the family, same as he did a lot for the family. We just had different roles but both contributed equally and sacrificed equally. I told him in all honesty he would have never found a childcare provider that would allow the hours he worked. He worked 12-hour shifts 2 days a week, or 5 times a week depending which week. He also switched from nights to days every 2 weeks. The only way he could have taken this position is me quitting my job to hold down the house and kids 24/7. He tried to go back on what he said but it was too late. After screaming at me about how hard he worked and everything he did for our family, he never said a word about what kind of sacrifice I made so he could have that position. My career, my 401k, Social Security, and my own freedom. I just said I'll never regret the 2 years I got to be home with my babies to raise them. I will always be thankful for the opportunity and our teamwork to make it happen. But I will no longer be a SAHM for him because at this point it feels like a control/ego thing for him, and I want to make sure that myself and our kids are always taken care of no matter what. And I don't want to get 5 years down the road and be completely under his thumb because he's showed me I can't trust him and he would fight me and do everything in his power to keep me from going to work. Luckily my old supervisor already has a position for me to take over on the night shift/or evening shift. So they are willing to be flexible and allow me to do part-time or full-time work.